We are at Sachuest Marsh in Middletown, Rhode Island today, and this is a site of the first elevation enhancement restoration project at a salt marsh in Rhode Island, possibly in New England. And when I say elevation enhancement, we are actually raising the elevation of the marsh surface. I'm standing right now on about 6 to 8 inches of sand that was brought onto the marsh this winter in February. It was spread across the marsh by a contractor named Sumco that U.S. Fish and Wildlife hired them to lay this sand down on this salt marsh to raise the elevations so that the marsh can keep up or keep pace with sea level rise. So as our salt marshes grow, they can keep pace with a moderate sea level rise increase. And what we're doing today is we're actually planting this new elevation with 2 different types of salt marsh grasses. One is called Spartina alterniflora. It grows in the lower part of the marsh, the lower elevation, and one grows in the upper part of the marsh, and it's called spike grass or disticus. And we have volunteers both from CVS, a corporate group coming to help us volunteer, about 13 volunteers from CVS up in Woonsocket, and we have a group from Rogers High School.
My name is Jennifer White, and I'm with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So this is an important project to try and have high marsh available for the Saltmarsh Sparrow. The Saltmarsh Sparrow is a salt marsh specialist, so it only breeds in salt marshes, and so if this habitat disappears, they wouldn't have any place to be able to move to breed. And they're very specialized to have their nesting period is shortened, and it will fit in between the high tide. So they're able to fit their whole nesting cycle in between high tides.
This is one of the salt marsh grasses that the Rogers High School students grew in their salt marsh nursery. This is Spartina alterniflora. It's kind of the building blocks of our salt marsh here in New England. It can get flooded twice a day. So this grass that they just planted later today will have salt water flowing over it. So it can tolerate salinity, and it is really important in stabilizing the sand and creating a wonderful habitat for a variety of fish and other wildlife that use the marsh. When the tide is up, the fish will swim through these grasses and they will hide from predators. So our goal is next year at this time or later this summer that all of these grasses will coalesce or join together, and it will begin to look like the marsh, a healthy section of the marsh at higher elevation. We're really excited to have community partners here today. Over the next 4 days, we're going to have about 100 people planting 22,000 salt marsh grasses. And it's really important to involve the youth from Rogers High. We have a group from Middletown, the lacrosse team is coming, another group from UNFI, and URI are coming as well. And we need community stewards to protect these sites into the future. And we need the young people to understand why we're doing this project so they can carry these projects forward and continue these efforts into the future.